Welcome back to Hey Babe, Can We Talk? With me, your host and bestie, Drea Renee. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is the place where the hot mess expresses the black sheeps of love. And for those who just can't seem to get it right when it comes to matters of the heart, I am you, you are me, we are one. And if no one else gets you, guess what? I do. I am a relationship survivor, and you guys, I've done everything wrong, so I'm going to help you do it right. If you are returning, I missed you, and we're going to have a great episode. On today's show, we have legend, icon, content creator, all the things giving, Kristina Kane today, you guys. It's going to be amazing. But before we get into that, make sure you hit that like, follow, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what you think of this episode. It's going to be a juicy one, so I want to see those comments going and flowing. So let's get into it with Kristina Kane. Kristina, girl.
Yes.
I am very excited to have you here.
Oh, I'm ready.
I love your content. It's amazing. It's so funny. I know the men are giving you a little bit of hate, but the women are loving it, right?
Correct.
So talk to me about being a content creator.
Okay. So I've been posting on Instagram for like a really long time, but I was having a hard time with growth and I was just very stagnant for a long time. So I think the big thing with creating content is finding out what works for you and like what's your niche. And,
right.
you know, what works for this person may not be the views and engagement that you get if you replicate it. So I was trying out a variety of different things, like get ready with me, hair and makeup, travel with me, all that bullshit.
Yes, you absolutely can. You can say it. All the bullshit.
All the bullshit.
Okay.
And I started posting videos where it's like men should pay and like provide and be alpha and, you know, let women, you know, just really embody being a female. And men hate it, women love it, which is fine because controversy is what works, and I'm here for controversy. There are
you definitely are, Kristina.
Yeah, you know, you have to have a thick spine, and my spine is like made of brick. So I think if you had like a really thin spine, then it'd be really hard for you because you would see the comments and people they can be, you know, a little ruthless on the internet.
Yeah.
So I think if you have like maybe a meek spine, then you know, stay in the perimeter. But if you
stay in the box is what she's trying to say.
But if, you know, you can handle it, then just, you know, just do it. There are the occasional men that do agree with me, but when I say occasional, I mean, there will be like 5,000 comments of people like hating, and then that one man that'd be like, like Kristina, my woman's not doing anything. Yeah, exactly.
It's so interesting because if you're going to be a content creator, it is not for the weak. I mean, people will come for you for the craziest things.
Even if you're not posting anything controversial, I mean, you can be doing a like get ready with me, and people will be like, "Why? What makes you think you can wear that?"
Right?
So it's like it doesn't.
Where'd you get that dress?
Yeah. So it doesn't even have to be anything that's like a controversial topic. It could literally be you just, you know, dancing or cooking food, doing whatever you enjoy, and people are going to come for you. So I think you just have to, you know, really have a good sense of self of who you are and stay true to you and not listen to the outside noise. And also, like, I'm all for the engagement. I love it. I like, you know, sometimes do a little poke to keep it going.
Oh, do you respond to comments?
Well, usually it's like, I definitely respond to comments, but then the great thing is there will be people arguing in my comments.
I love a good argument.
But I'm all for it because it's like, you know, it's keeping my engagement up. So like, just keep going.
Right? Let's do it all the way. 65 replies. I'm down.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about dating and being a content creator. Because I know when I started this podcast and then I was online dating, people would say, you have a podcast?
Right.
Well, don't use me for your podcast.
Right.
And I would say, well, don't give me any content.
Right.
I mean, that's up to you.
But also do use them. Just don't say their name.
No, exactly. But they don't even want to be used at all. They don't want to be referenced. And I'm like, well, buddy, I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? Or is it a thing?
I don't think, for me, it's not really a thing. I mean, like, usually when I meet new people, they don't or haven't seen my Instagram. And a lot of the guys that I've met previously and recently kind of agree with what I'm saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they agree with what I'm saying if, you know, I bring up, you know, certain situations of topics that I talk about. But I mean, dating honestly is like super, super hard. So
Kristina, let's talk about it.
It's really
girl.
bad.
Hey, Kristina, can we talk? It's awful. Are you on the apps?
No, I'm on one app, Raya, but I don't use it.
Raya is not giving for me.
No, it was really like, so 8 years ago, or whenever it first came out, I was like one of the first, like my friend was like invited to be on the app, and then he referred me. So I was like in there when it was like tight knit community.
Yeah.
And it was great. But now, I mean, obviously at some point you have to open it up to different people, and because or else you're just matching and meeting the same people.
Exactly.
And now it's just like, I mean, honestly, I'm not really an app girly. I go on there when I'm bored, like if I'm watching a movie or like, you know, sitting on a flight, like all like
popcorn and Raya.
Yeah. Like,
you know?
it's just like a heart X, but nothing ever comes of it because like I'm not going to be the one to message a guy, which is not like an ego thing. It's just because I'm already such an alpha, outspoken personality. I want a man that can like be like, hey, what are you doing Friday at 8? Like that shows me that they can take initiative and really like step up to the plate and do that. So it's not out of ego, but it's like, it's also like not necessarily my focus dating. So I'm not like, hey, what's up to so many people. But so usually I let them message me first. But if they say like just, I'm being tough on everybody. But if they just say, hey, you've already lost me. Like, you've already lost my attention. I want like a guy that's like, Friday at 8, what are you doing? I'd love to take you out. Because like, I'm not looking for a pen pal. And a lot of people on the apps will be like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Oh, that's cool. Oh,
how was your weekend?
How was your
Happy
weekend?
Monday.
Yeah, it's
if
like,
I can hear happy Monday one more time. Listen, you don't give a shit about my Monday. Okay? We're not there yet.
No.
All right, so let's just drop all of this.
So it's like, I'm not looking for a pen pal. And a lot of people want to like bullshit back and forth on the app. And I don't have like the time or like bandwidth for it. So.
And there's so many people messaging so many people. There's so many cut and paste and all
Oh
the things,
my
you know
God,
I mean?
yes.
And so it's like, am I moving this here? Okay, so we're having some mic issues now.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's there's definitely cut and paste, and then I mean the world moves so fast that you can match with somebody and have brief conversation, and then you like forget about them.
I know.
So
that's the thing. You can connect and have this whole moment, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
And I think I talk about this a lot on the show, where it's like this whole ghosting idea, where there's so many options, there's so many things that are stimulating us that we just like totally forget about the 8,000 conversations.
1,000%, yeah.
That we're having.
Yeah.
Right.
So dating apps for me isn't really the best. I mean, I think for anybody. I mean, I think a lot of people do meet people off dating apps and they can be successful. Like I met my ex-boyfriend off Raya.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can be successful on dating apps, but obviously, I always still think the best way to meet someone is in person or through mutual friends or
Because there's so many avenues that it takes to actually get to the point where you're seeing the person that they're your boyfriend.
Right.
Do they look like their photos?
Yeah.
Do I have chemistry with them? What the fuck are they talking about? Are they who they say they are? All these things versus like meeting someone in real life and it's just like a whole different experience.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, the dating apps, it's atrocious out there. Like I have a friend, she was having issues in a relationship and I'm like, don't come out here. Like, do not come out. You got to work it out. Work it out here.
Oh, okay.
And when people meet boyfriends in LA, I'm always baffled. I'm like, there are men here who want to be in a relationship.
Yeah, I think.
Where are they?
I think they're. I think there are. Like, I still have hope. I just think it's like the diamond in the rough. It's like obviously major cities like LA, New York, Miami are filled with a lot of guys that don't have the mentality that they want to be monogamous with one person. But
everybody's E&M these days.
Yeah.
Ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one.
You haven't seen that on the app?
No.
Oh my gosh. So they'll be like,
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's totally a thing. I have my primary partner, but we're open.
Okay, like swingers.
I mean, not like they're swinging with couples, but like they can go have their own adventures with somebody else and then come back to their normal life.
Right.
But I think that's a product
of time we live in.
I know. And it says proudly E&M. And
wow. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
She's clearly on the app that has it.
I'm on the app. It's on Hinge. It has it. Have you never done Hinge?
No.
Okay, don't.
Okay, don't.
I'm telling you, it's not worth it. But okay, so when you met your boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, on Raya, what was that process like for you when you're dating someone? Are you keeping it 100 from the beginning? Because that's what we're talking about today. Keeping it real, or do you play it cool, stand back, let them do everything, conceal your feelings? How do you navigate the beginning of a relationship?
I think the beginning of a relationship, I think there's a balance because women. I say women because I think, they're more emotional than men, but women tend to be like, they meet somebody, and because it's rare for us to meet somebody that we have chemistry with, we have the same morals and values, you start like planning the wedding in your head and thinking about what the kids would look like and where you guys going to travel the summer. So women are more emotional. So when they do come across someone like that, I think it's easy for them to just start, daydreaming, but then I wouldn't
immediately.
Yeah. But then I wouldn't say, playing it super cool and coy and not acting interested and just being very standoffish is the right approach either. I think you have to just be very realistic and let it come at you as it does come and stay true to you. Like, don't just be... Well, you're asking in retrospect to my last boyfriend.
Because that was your last relationship, I think. So just like when you're dating someone, and you start having those feelings where you like someone. Because I did a video on this where like I'm cool and collected until I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I like him.
Yeah.
And then the text times, I start freaking out. When are we going to see each other?
Right.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? When that part starts where I'm like, let me just be cool and act how I was acting yesterday.
Right.
Now my heart's involved.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the timing. Because if it's too much too soon, then, that shows a lot about where you are mentally and spiritually with yourself. And it's... I can't speak for everybody, but I've never met anybody really where like after like one date, I'm like, that's the love of my life.
Yeah.
So I think it's like just being realistic. And like sometimes I think if you are, wanting too much too soon, when are they going to text me? Did they view my story? He said that he would call me Friday to go out, but I haven't heard from him. And this is all coming on really soon. I think you need to look at yourself in that situation, because I think you're looking for things from someone else that you need to be giving yourself.
Right. So do you think in that moment, if they're showing up inconsistent, it's time to step away? And do you step away? Like if you start seeing inconsistencies, but you like the person, are you stepping back or are you having a conversation to say, hey, what's going on?
Well, I think it just really depends on the time frame that we've been dating. Like, and what are the inconsistencies? Are they in like planning dates and then not hearing back from them? Are they texting?
2 months, you're hanging out, you've been intimate, and all of a sudden the texts just start to drop off. There's no more good morning text. It's now he's texting you at 5 p.m. Sorry, babe, busy day.
Yeah.
What's
and then within
doing?
the 2 months, because time is time, but like, did you see each other 5 times within 2 months or almost every weekend within 2 months?
Every weekend.
So if that would happen, because we've been seeing each other for 2 months consistently, I would probably like approach it and bring it up. But then if they were not open and forthcoming to discuss it, then just move on. Clearly something changed within them. Right. And also, this is a great opportunity because let's say something happened and you've been seeing this person for 2 months and you guys have slept together and you've been seeing each other almost every other day of the week for 2 months. That's almost 60 days or 45 or whatever. If they can't communicate what happened, maybe whatever is, whether it's life, personal, they don't feel you're compatible, their dog just died, whatever it is that they're like withholding that's affecting their, communication with you. If they can't communicate 2 months in, what makes you think they're going to be able to communicate for the long run of the relationship?
Right.
So I think that's really a telltale sign that if you meet someone and they're forthcoming and they're communicative, then that's a good sign that for the longevity of your relationship, when something bothers them, they can be like, hey, babe, I just want to let you know, like, I'm feeling this right now, XYZ. And vice versa. You can do the same and it's comfortable and it's open, honest, forthcoming communication. But if you're seeing someone and they kind of ghost you or are inconsistent, that's the foundation of what your relationship's going to be.
100%.
So,
and it's like you can't really believe a person. And I know we get so caught up in limerence at first when you meet someone and it's all these feelings and they're calling and all the things. But then once things start to settle, you start to see who someone is. But that moment of keeping your head on straight in those beginning months is really difficult. Yeah. Especially if you are on the dating apps and it's taking you so long to finally get here.
Yeah,
and
it
you're
can
like,
be exciting.
Can I relax? And they're like, no, I'm not going to call you in 3 months.
Yeah. I think it can be exciting to when like you haven't been able to find somebody and you meet somebody. So like, of course, like it can be exciting. I understand why some people leap with open arms, but that's why I also said that, I'm really big on you have to love yourself and date yourself and be good on your own before entering.
For real. Yeah. People just be saying that, Kristina.
No, I've been single 4.5 years. What? I have not had a relationship since. Of course, I want a relationship. I don't.
Okay, that was my next question.
I don't need one. Like, I'll go to movies alone. I'll travel alone. I love to sit home and be on my phone and watch movies. So that's why I think that you have to date yourself. Not I think, excuse me, I know.
Okay.
You have to.
I'm correct, Kristina said. Hello.
You have to be okay with being in your own space by yourself in silence. Like, not calling a friend on FaceTime while you're watching a movie just to have a companion there. And like, maybe you guys aren't even talking, but they're just on the phone. Because if you're not independent by yourself, then you're not going to be independent in your relationships. So if you're codependent with your friends and your family and your hookups, then that's just going to transcribe into your relationship. So I'm a big advocate for being okay with by yourself. Take yourself to dinner. Go to the movies alone. Go on a hike alone. I mean, I travel alone, and that can be a big stretch. And I'm not saying everyone needs to do that, but maybe go on a day trip up the coast. You know, like whatever you feel comfortable with. But when you're really good on your own and you're very secure with yourself, and you know you're confident, you're independent, you love being alone. Like I love being alone.
That solitude is nice.
Yeah. Then it's like, the things that I used to tolerate, I don't even have like time for anymore, because I don't need somebody. I want somebody, but I don't need them. So when you get to a place of being really good on your own, it definitely, I think, makes dating harder, because I don't I'm not gonna, every single person that comes in, I'm not going to just like grab onto them because I'm good on my own. But like I said, of course I want somebody, but then I guess your intention with dating changes. Like I date with intention now. And if I see, okay, we're not compatible because of this. Oh, I saw red flags in this. Oh, we don't have the same morals and values in this. What's the point of continuing?
Right.
Then I'm not going to waste my time or theirs and continue it. I'm just going to go back to being me.
So you can tap out real quick with the quickness. You're like, what was that? I'm out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in application of these things, it's very difficult when the person has some of these other qualities where you're like, oh, well, this is good. And you're really attracted to someone, which people can get distracted by that, right? But they have this other thing where you're like, this is going to be a problem later. You're saying, I'm out.
Okay.
I'm tapping out.
So they see the red flags later.
No. You see them, but they're things that you really do like about this person. So, because not everyone's going to check every box.
I think it depends. I absolutely not.
Whatever that red flag.
Yeah, I think it really depends. I think going into a relationship, you have to have your needs and your wants that you want in a relationship.
Non-negotiables.
And then your non-negotiables, yes.
Yeah.
And like, you know, maybe you need this and maybe that person doesn't deliver on it, but then like they meet a lot of your non-negotiables. Because I mean, like you said, not everyone's going to be perfect. The grass is not greener. You know, you could be dating someone and be like, ugh, and then move on to someone else and it'd be like, whoa, even worse. This person looked great compared to this person.
Right.
So I think you have to that's why I say you have to be really like assured of yourself, know what you want, know what you're looking for, and not settle. And if you, like me, if I see red flags, yeah, I'm not going to continue.
Done. I want to talk to you about this energy around hyper independence in our generation. I mean, I don't know how old you are. I don't want to say hours. Who knows? Whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll say hours. You're cute. And where it's like the idea of getting into a relationship isn't so interesting to people. People want to do situationships. They don't want to label things. They want to go with the flow, which I hate.
Yeah.
Just be cool. See where it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's do everything like we're in a relationship. Have a toothbrush
but not
at your
define
house.
it.
Don't, I'm not your boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm not your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think about that? Because there is so much joy and push around go date yourself, be by yourself. But do you think there's a drawback to that when you are looking for a relationship?
Yeah, but I think the drawback is positive. So I'm super independent, like I said, and
you don't say, Kristina. You gave me total codependent vibes.
I'm super codependent. I'm super independent.
No. Yeah.
So like I said, like when I was younger, I would go on any and every first date because I was learning. I didn't know what I liked. So some people turn into a hookup. Some people turn into a friend. Some people are like, never want to see that person again.
Never.
But from doing that, I realized, okay, I like this, I don't like this. So I think everybody in their early 20s should date a lot and often.
So you do think that?
Yes, and you're younger, yes, I absolutely do. When you get to a point of knowing what you like, what you don't like, who you are as a person, what your values are, what your non-negotiables are, I don't think you should date anyone and everyone because like I'm not going to go to dinner with somebody when I know that there's not chemistry and we don't have the same values because like I mean like if I need a free meal, sure, but like I don't.
Get that free
meal.
So
it's like I'd rather sit home and not go on that date. So I think being super independent is great and being very confident and sure of yourself is great. And I do think you should be that way, but it will make your dating harder. Because you're not going to be tolerating every person that comes your way to take you on a date. The things that, you know, they start acting up and are like, oh, well, let's just go with the flow and see where it goes. You're not going to be tolerating that. So then you're just no, I'm good. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you. So it does make it harder because you hold yourself to a different value and standard. And a lot of people are not going to reach that. And why are they going to try to, like, especially for like somebody who's not in the place to be in a relationship, they're not going to pursue and wine and dine and text and entertain Kristina when Becky's ready to go. Let's just see where it goes.
Becky's ready to go at midnight.
Yeah, like, let's just see where it goes. Like, so like for a man that has that mentality, or I guess a female as well, like, they're just going to go for someone who's like, cool, like, let's do that.
There's so many people who are like, cool, let's do that. And it really messes up the dating pool.
Yeah.
Or they'll say they want a relationship, but they'll keep Becky coming over at midnight after they just got done with you at 10.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's so
for
much
sure.
of that.
For sure.
The other thing I want to talk to you about is the masculine, feminine energy going into a relationship, because you give very much how I am. I'm like, what?
Masculine.
You don't say. How did that show up in your last relationship? Was that a thing? And do you find that you're attracting more beta males because you do have such interesting, like, masculine energy?
Yeah.
If you're meeting a man's man, somebody's going to have to pull back. So who's pulling back, Kristina?
I think, neither, because it's not betas and I'm not submissing myself. I think what the best would work out for me is obviously, like, I'm very alpha, I'm very dominant, I'm very outspoken, and I'm very...
Not giving submissive.
But what I'm going to say is, like, I either need a guy that's completely beta and worships the ground I walk on, and I'm the one who wears the pants in the relationship, but I don't want to be that person. Is that an option? No.
Okay.
Is that an option? Yes. For women that are more masculine, they can have a guy that kind of is just like, you're my everything, and you call the shots. But you know, it's not fun wearing the pants all day, every day, and being masculine and being alpha. I want to be feminine, and I want to feel like a princess. So therefore, it's going to take someone who's more alpha than me. Like, a lot of men are like, I'm alpha. But then you like...
Girl. And you're like, no, you're not.
Yeah, and then
no, you're not, sir.
You see how they move, and you're like, you're not. So it's going to take a guy more alpha than me that I feel like, you know, has everything under control, knows how to execute, knows how to take initiative. So therefore, naturally, my femininity will release, and I'll be like, okay, my man has this. I can be that wallflower. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a hard time with that trusting, because I wasn't even open to this idea of these dynamics for the longest time. I just came out the gate hot, like a bull in a china shop. I'm like, we're doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know? And then later I learned, okay, let me like pull back a little bit. Let me let a man do his thing.
Yeah.
Not in this submission way. I actually really hate that word with a passion. This, you gotta like chill and be quiet, and all the women that are married are very quiet.
Yeah, no, I'm like, not saying be like a doormat.
No, exactly. Like, I'm not here for that. But what does that look like for you? Like, what type of men do you like? Like, what are they doing for work? What do they look like? What are their vibes? Like, what's Kristina like?
It's really interesting, because if you look at all my exes and put them at a dinner table, it's the most foreign fucking dinner table you'll ever see. It does not make any sense.
They're all different.
They all look differently. They all dress differently. They're all in different occupations. So I don't have a physical type.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, no, I don't.
I love a beard, honey.
Oh, really?
I love a beard.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I don't have a physical type. I've gone on dates with a variety of different looking people. I've dated different looking people. You know, they're in different occupations. They dress differently. They look differently. Their ethnicity is different. For me,
are you all over? You know,
I'm open.
Okay,
you know,
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I don't think you can knock anything until you try it, and that goes for like food, anything. Like, you know, the people that are like, I don't like sushi. I'm like, well, have you tried it? They're like, no, I just know by the look of it. It's like, you're in a box.
Yeah.
You're living small-minded in a box.
In the box.
So you know, yeah, like, I'm the type of person that's like up for anything, whether that's travel, dating, food. Like, don't knock it till you try it.
Don't knock it till you try it.
It's an aura. It's an energy. Like, when I sit across from someone who, you know, has witty banter, I can give you shit and you give it right back to me.
I was going to say, you seem like the type of woman that's going to, like, you know, poke a little bit, but they need to be able to, like, poke back.
Yeah, like, it's all fun and games. So it's like, if I have witty banter and I am bantering with you and you know, get all hurt and defensive over like a joke, then I know that's not the person for me.
Not the guy.
Because like, I need someone who can take it, and it's a plus if they can give it back. If they can't give it back, that's fine. At least they can take it and like joke about it.
Right.
But like, yeah, it's like witty banter. It's an aura. It's a chemistry that I'm attracted to. It's not a physical type. It's like a feeling and a lure.
Okay, I love that. So right now in your life, are you still catching flights, or are we ready to catch some feelings? Like, where is Kristina at? Like, the guy shows up, he's ready. He's like, Kristina, I see you. I love you. You're like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Or are you ready to bring somebody in your space?
No, I'm like ready to get married.
Oh, okay. That escalated quickly.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm 29, and then it's not an age thing for me because I don't live my life by a timeline, and I don't recommend people to live their life by a timeline. So it's not necessarily an age thing for me, but I've lived in Los Angeles for 15 years.
You lived here for 15 years?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Georgia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Georgia Peach.
Exactly.
I love it.
So do the men.
Okay. Ow. Yes, Kristina.
So like I've lived here for 15 years. I've done like, I've been at clubs. I've done the events. I've done the carpets. I've done the parties. I've done the after parties. I've done the traveling.
After parties.
Exactly. So it's like I've done it all. So I'm so over it. Like when I don't even go out in Los Angeles anymore and I haven't for like many years because anytime I go out, it's the same people at the same restaurant, at the same event. It's just not refreshing. Now, when I travel to like New York or London, then it's like, like, let's go to dinner. Let's go to a lounge. I'm in a place I've never been, meeting people I've never met. So it's exciting and refreshing. But here it's just, it's just
really
it's
small,
super redundant.
really fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Really fast.
So it's, so now I don't really go out. But I mean, I think I'm both. Like in the time being, while I'm dating and trying to really find my next partner, because whoever I end up with at 29, 30, there's a chance that that's who I'm going to be with. So obviously, like, I'm selective and I have my standards. Now. I'm looking more seriously. Like in the meantime, yes, I love traveling. I love catching flights. I love going here. I love being spontaneous. But yeah, I definitely think my next relationship will be like, hopefully the guy that I'm with, long run.
I know. I'm right there with you. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. The ovaries are popping.
Yeah.
Like the baby's ready to go.
Yeah.
How do you think your friendships affect like your idea around relationships? I don't know. Are most of your friends in relationships? Are they mostly single?
I would say there's a balance. I have some friends that are in relationships. I have some friends.
Anybody in a healthy relationship? Is anybody like just thriving and glowing and saying they're the best man they've ever met in their whole entire lives?
No. But it doesn't mean that they're bad.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that they're bad people, but like we said, everyone's gonna have pros and cons. You're gonna have to pick your battles. The grass isn't always gonna be greener, and sometimes it is.
Everybody thinks it is though, Kristina.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
we all do.
Yeah. But we'll let them get to the other side and figure that out.
Okay.
But then when they come back, you've relocated.
Okay.
Yeah. The lawn is not there anymore. The lawn is gone. It's just turf and dirt. So, like there's some people that are single. There's some people that are in relationships. There's some people that just gotten out of relationships.
Because they say you're like the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with.
Oh yeah, birds of the same feather flock together.
Yeah. And it's like, I was thinking about this, and no shade to any of my girlfriends.
Yeah.
But the amount of women that are in, but a little shade.
Yeah.
Including myself. Hello. But the amount of people in LA specifically that are in genuinely healtty relationships.
Yeah.
I mean.
But that's because I don't think the people alone are healthy. It all goes back to yourself. I'm like at a TED Talk. Yeah. I think that's because this man and this female they don't know who they are. They don't have their identity in place. They're maybe easily persuaded or, wavered. So I think they're not in healthy relationships because they're not healthy on their own.
Yeah. And nobody's doing the work.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks, especially I'm from Texas. And so when I go home and I'm talking about these things, not so much now, but when I moved to LA 17 years ago and started doing the work on myself internally, in a lot of parts of America, and not even America, just the world, people don't want to go deep. They don't want to figure out why. They don't want to really connect with someone.
Right.
So you kind of show up with your baggage and everyone just puts it aside, but nobody's going through it. So it all keeps showing up in all these weird ways. And they're like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with him. And it's like, well, have you guys been to therapy? Oh, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. I definitely think then it's like you have no one to blame but yourself. If you're in these toxic relationships keep happening, you're not happy, you're crying to you're crying to your friends at night, you're lying about like seeing this person because your friends don't or family don't.
I've never done a thing like that in my life. How dare you, Kristina?
Like, you know, you're lying because your family and friends don't like it, like I think, you know, then you're the person to blame at that point. Like people want to point fingers and be like, oh well, he did this or she did this, and you have to like be able to look. That's why I'm so big on being good on your own, being happy and content with your own self before even thinking about entering a relationship. Because once you're to that place of like solitude and confidence and independence, you're not going to put up with any of this bullshit.
Right.
Like whether it's like they're sliding in girls' DMs, they're saying they're out with the boys, but really, you know, you see there's girls. So, and you're just not even going to tolerate that. And it'll be so easy to walk away because you know what? You don't need Joey. You want Joey, but if Joey's going to act like that,
okay,
bye. So that's why it's like I put so much emphasis on being good on your own before entering a relationship, and also going to therapy on your own. Fuck couples therapy. Yep. If you can't even do therapy on your own, why are you going to therapy with a couple? You both need to work on yourself individually. I went to therapy. That's why I'm iconic. And
a legend, honey, a legend. Kristina.
Like I went to therapy for many years, and I had things that were wrong with me. But the difference is there's people that have things that are wrong with them, and they know that, like, you know, they're flags, but they're not but they're not taking that initiative to say, you know what, this is bad, I need to work on this. They say, oh yeah, I do this, or yeah, I should work on it, but they don't actually take the steps to work on it.
They do not.
So it's like you have to look at yourself in the mirror, be like, I'm fucked up, I have issues wrong with me, and be that person to actually take the steps to better yourself. Because people say they're bettering themselves, but like, what are you doing? Are you reading books? Are you watching TED Talks? Are you going to therapy? Like, what steps are you taking?
Yeah, and they're not really doing it because it's so easy just to stay in your same grind, same mindset every day. I mean, to change your wiring, to actually really want to change yourself without somebody else telling you to go change yourself.
Yeah, no, you have to want it.
You have to want it.
And you have to see that it's hurting you more than helping you. Like I was in a place where I pushed away every single male figure that cared about me, whether it be, you know, a coach, a boyfriend, a friend. I was in this very like come close but not too close, very bitchy mentality towards men. And I was like, okay, like I don't like this about myself. So I went to therapy when I was like 15, 16. But like,
that young.
Yeah. Wow. I'm iconic.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to like have that realization, but beyond the realization, actually take the initiative to put the work in.
Yeah. And it's tough because when you're really facing your stuff, nobody wants to do that. And it is so much easier to go in a relationship and hide and then put everything on. Well, if he would just.
Yeah.
And then I can.
Well, yeah, but then it's just pointing fingers. It's like, if he would just, well, what if you would just?
Okay.
So it's also like.
Kristina said, hey, listen, I'm not
it takes two to tango. So, you know, like you can project a lot of things onto someone else, but it's just as equally important, if not more important, to look at yourself.
Yeah. And it's tough.
Yeah.
I've done the mirror exercise. Have you ever done that?
I haven't.
Yourself in the mirror.
No.
You say nice things to yourself.
Oh, like at words of affirmation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Because all the love, like for me, that I was so freely giving to somebody else, like starting that journey to give it back to yourself is scary.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
Yeah, but it's very important.
Yeah. And the amount of people in relationships that are unhealed, I mean, it's the numbers are high.
Yeah, and I know it can be scary to be in a relationship and, you know, think about exiting a relationship because it's a toxic relationship, or you're very codependent, or you're not in a relationship and because you're codependent, you keep getting in the wrong relationships. But if you really take the steps, read the books, do the online research, watch the TED Talks, go to therapy, whatever you feel you're benefiting from, if you really take those steps, you're going to see a massive shift in your dating life and your friendships and everything, because you hold yourself to a different standard. You know what you won't tolerate. And now, like, you're not tolerating things just because, I don't know, there's a human that's in your life and occasionally texts you. Like, you'll just be on such a different platform.
Taking the crumbs, right? The crumbs start to feel like a whole meal until you get the pie. And you're like, oh my God, I had no idea.
Yeah.
This is the whole thing.
I can't relate to any of this, but... I don't handle crumbs. Like I don't put up with any bullshit.
Kristina, you definitely do not.
Like,
okay.
Like maybe when I was younger, I absolutely used to. Like I definitely was that person when I was younger. I, hooked up with people I shouldn't have. I, overgave myself to people who didn't appreciate me. I tolerated crumbs. I fought for people to be in my life more than they even cared if I was there. I definitely once was that person, but now I'm not. So crumbs, red flags, it's very just... No.
It's like cut and dry. Yeah. I'm out.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I love to ask this because it's like when you do start catching those feelings, do you still have that human experience where it's like, oh my God, I really freaking like this guy? And can you still pull out in those moments? Yeah. If I don't have any feelings for you, I'm out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
but when you get heart focused,
yeah.
Does Kristina, and what's a heart focused Kristina look like?
I don't know. It's been a long time since we've seen her.
She's been gone for a minute.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time since I've really have felt something deeply for someone. Yeah.
It's scary, man.
Yeah. Well, there's just not quality. The fish are dying in the sea. We all know this. So it's like it's just there hasn't really been a quality guy that I've met that's really swept me off my feet and made me feel something. So it's been a long time since I felt something. But even then, like if there's been people occasionally
that maybe
I thought, and I was like, wow, I haven't met someone in such a long time, and then like I had a really good time with that person. If anything, for whatever reason goes wrong and I'm really upset about it, at the end of the day, you have to be logical apart from emotional, but also respect yourself more than you respect anyone else.
Self-respect is huge. I mean, people just throw that around, but if you actually embody that, your entire life will change.
Yeah.
So I've got a request to ask you about Home Depot. Kristina.
Oh, shit.
What happened at Home Depot? Are you thinking of being at Home Depot? What happened at Home Depot?
When I'm in a relationship, I think it's really fun to have a bucket list.
Yeah.
Of exploration activities.
I love this.
Yeah. So it was my idea. We were looking for an alleyway, and there was, she thinks I mean like go picnicking and like.
I mean too. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? An alleyway?
Physical, intimate activity bucket list.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, queen.
So like I have like a bucket list. It's been a long time because I've been in a relationship for 5 years, but if anyone's looking to like pick up a bucket list.
She is available, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get Kristina heart-centered.
Yeah, so I have a bucket list, and we were looking for an alleyway because alleyway was on my bucket list, and there was no alleyway, but there was a Home Depot. And you know how they have like the sample storage sheds on the lots of the Home Depot where you're like, oh, I'm going to buy this for my backyard. Kristina. So went in the Home Depot storage shed, and action took place there.
I am so happy for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. I really encourage people that's why I said don't knock anything till you try it. And
I'm going to Home Depot. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go and stand by the shed. I'll just see what pops up.
Period.
I'm sorry, where you at? I'm at Home Depot. Come
yeah. That's why I like encourage people to like, not just in dating or friendships or travel or food, like keep an open mind and not knocking things till you try it. Because a lot of people, they do the same thing over and over. And I have a lot of even my friends come to me and be like, oh, like, our, sex life is boring. Like, I want to do this. Sex life
stories of my friends.
Yeah, like, I want to do this, but he doesn't want to do that. So it's like, I think it's really important apart from your emotional, mental, spiritual connection, to keep your relationship fun and playful sexually. Because the second it's like boring, it's boring.
And then it's like that's your friend.
And how are you going to be together for like 50 years?
Exactly. Yeah. I'll tell you how you're going to be together 50 years. You go to Home Depot.
Period.
Period.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to make that a thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Kristina, thank you so much for being on the show. Before we let you go, we're going to play a game.
I love games.
Red flag, green flag. I'm so excited. And so you have to say red flag, green flag for the listeners.
Okay.
And then you can give us a little explanation of why.
Okay.
So when you're dating, Kristina, if your man or potential man has children,
well, I don't have a problem with it. So green flag.
Green flag.
I don't have a problem with men that are previously married or have children because for me, like I'm more mature and obviously alpha. So usually I think an older man is better for me Because if they have kids and they're previously married, it shows that they know what it takes to be in a committed relationship. Maybe it didn't work out. You grow together, you grow apart. No one's at fault here. But I don't have a problem with them having kids as long as they have an amicable relationship with their ex-wife.
Okay, love it.
Yeah.
He wants to share locations with you at all times. You've been dating for a bit. He's like, hey, can I get your location?
I don't have a problem with that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to give a red flag.
No, I mean to some people, okay, well, it depends.
Green flag.
Yeah, like I don't have a problem because I've never been cheated on. I've never cheated on anyone. I've never been in those shady situations. So for me, I personally would not have a problem with that. Green flag. Am I going to be like, now, if you are having the location because there's trust issues, he goes out with the boys, you're sitting there on your phone, scrolling, zooming in, seeing where he's at, then that's a red flag. Then that's a red flag. So it depends the reasoning for wanting the location. Like I've, healthy, safety, whatever, green flag. But if it's like, I don't trust you, I don't where are you going? Who are you with? Right. I want your location and your password, red flag. You shouldn't even be in that relationship.
100%. And I've never done
so it depends.
So I'm just saying.
You're perfect.
Exactly.
So it really depends.
I'm iconic, Kristina.
It depends the reasoning for the location being shared.
Okay. If he goes out with his friends all the time, he's a boy's boy. He has to hang out with the boys.
What do you consider all the time?
Weekends. He's like, it's around his friends.
Red flag. There's balance. I think if he's in the stage where it's like always going out with the boys every weekend and maybe sometimes you're invited, sometimes you're not invited, regardless, it shows that I don't know, it's just, for your own relationship to grow and develop, it's so important for you to spend one-on-one time together.
100%.
So I'm really big for balance. Let him go out with the guys and go to the bar and drink beers and watch the game.
Totally.
The girls go out, get martinis and go get their nails done. Then we all do things together, the guys and the girls. Then we do one-on-one things and, we go up to Santa Barbara for a weekend. So I think it really comes down to balance. But if he's prioritizing his guys over you, then red flag.
Red flag, gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay, love it. And then the next one is, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on this one. Oh, makes less than you. Oh, girl, Kristina.
I'm going to say
throw the green flag away.
I'm going to say red flag. And the reasoning for this is, for everyone that's been listening, is simply because I obviously have a very alpha personality. So if I have an alpha personality, I'm making more than him, I'm paying for more in the relationship than him, then I feel like the man.
Right.
So it really just comes down to me wanting to feel like a lady and taken care of and, treated with chivalry and respect and courtship.
Totally.
So usually in order to do that, you have to have finances.
Okay.
So that's why I say it's a red flag for me, because I'm looking for a man who can really be a man and provide and protect and be masculine and finds pride in doing that because he wants to do that for his woman. So for me, it's that. Other people may not care, but
guess what? Kristina Kane gives a damn.
Send me your bank statements.
And then the last one, I just thought of this one. Would you date someone that's a content creator on TikTok, making the dance moves?
No. I'm looking for a man in finance, 6'5", trust fund, blue eyes. There. No.
Oh my God. I didn't imagine so, but I was like, let me just check.
Would you?
Girl.
She's like, I am now.
No, I would never. A guy doing little video dances? Yeah. I'm not down.
Yeah, no, it's not. Well, that just goes back to me being like, I want a daddy. I want a man. Yeah. So I want a man who's in his 40s, like mid 40s. So someone who's doing, someone who's successful, working in a suit, they're not going to be like, they're not. So their kids probably are.
You're amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for keeping it 100.
Yeah.
And focusing on being okay with yourself.
Yeah. I think moral of the story and the takeaway from this episode, not me doing your job.
No, do it.
Is at the end of the day, if you're in a relationship that's toxic, or you're not in a relationship and, you're not dating with intent and you don't feel like any of your dates are successful, I think the most important thing ever is fall in love with yourself, date yourself, be good on your own, travel alone, dine alone, try new things alone, try a new workout class alone. Don't be reliant on your friends or your family or a partner or hookup, whatever, to be there, because once you get to that place, your relationships, your friendships, your family, everything, your relationships are going to drastically shift for the better.
Thank you, Kristina. Great way to wrap up the show. All right, you guys, thank you for lending me your ear. As always, don't forget, this is the place for the Hot Mess Expresses and the Black Sheeps of Love. We will see you guys all again next time. Make sure you comment down below. Go check out Kristina Kane. She's iconic. Don't forget it. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.